California Davis. Event number 10, the Women's Collegiate Varsity Invitational, Heat B for the Jessop Cup coming up.
Well, we are in fact back at the starting line, getting ready to record the start of the Jessop-Whittier Cup second heat.
You are aligned.
We do have alignment, and we are pulling the crews. Although there's only 4 boats in these heats, this is a very tough race between USC, Radcliffe, and Grand Valley, UC Davis. These are USC, Radcliffe, all have been perennial contenders. Go! And there is the start of the second heat. We have USC on the early lead, slightly ahead of Radcliffe. USC jumped out of the start at 44 strokes a minute. All boats have crossed the 100 meters. USC still maintaining their high stroke rating at 200 meters into the race. And there comes the big shift at 250 meters. USC establishing itself as the early leader has settled down into a comfortable lead over Radcliffe, Grand Valley, and University of California at Davis. USC now at 36 strokes per minute, and we would anticipate them striking this all the way down the course, comfortably just maintaining their position. Remember that although only 1 boat is eliminated from the early heats, they do race for lane assignments in the grand final. That is your call from the starting line.
This is event number 10, the Women's Collegiate Varsity Invitational. They're working on getting into the grand final for the Jessop-Whittier Cup, one of the premier events here at our San Diego Crew Classic throughout the years. And checking lane assignments, the University of Southern California is in lane number 1, and they are also in the number 1 position in this race at this time. Radcliffe in lane number 2, then comes Grand Valley out there in lane number 3, and the University of California Davis is in lane number 4.
Yes, and I'm in the regrettable position of having to tell you that nobody in this race has recorded any race results this season. That means, I think, that they have not raced yet this year, and this is the first time that they've actually put the oar in the water in anger. Obviously, University of Southern California are winners of this event previously. Radcliffe College from Boston are a perennial powerhouse for many years, especially in the years prior to the sport-going NCAA for the women. Grand Valley State in lane 3 are indisputably the best club program for women in the United States. They've been winners at the ACRA, the American Collegiate Rowing Association Championships, which is the championship for club programs. A club program essentially means that you're not supported by your athletic department, so it's run by the students, for the students as a club. And the University of California Davis on the outside have been one of the strongest women's programs in California, certainly in recent years, and for some time. They're past Division II champions on a number of occasions before the university stepped up to Division I. Grand Valley State in lane 3 have also been consistent performers at Women's Henley in England, not constrained by the NCAA rules because they're a club program. The NCAA rules limit the number of occasions in which you can compete overseas after the official season is finished.
Charles, correct me if I'm wrong. I would suspect that in an early race like this, a lot has to do with how deep your program is, because if you are competing for a position in the A boat, so to speak, you've really had to fight off people coming up from below, and so the winners of these kinds of races where they haven't been out so far would probably depend a lot on how your depth is in your program.
Oh yes, I mean these initial boatings when they haven't raced before is the first attempt at putting your best crew on the water. And I can promise you that there will be some rowers in the JV events later on today who will be out to show their coaches that they made a mistake in selection. So yes, it's going to be very tough, and you'll see a lot of JV boats later on trying to show their coaches that they've got rowers there that should be in real consideration for the top boat that's raced earlier in the day.
USC continues on the lead. They're on the shoreline. Radcliffe has fallen back. They had an early second position, but on the far outside, we have a pretty good boat race going on here between Grand Valley and UC Davis. So Radcliffe will have to pick it back up again. They had a second position at the 500-meter mark, but have slowly dropped back as USC certainly showing the class of this particular group. At least they are not being challenged at this time. You never know who is sandbagging whom at this particular time, but USC is on the current lead. Then out to lane 3 and 4, where it's shaping up to be a pretty nice little battle between Grand Valley State, they're out here from Michigan, and the University of California, Davis. Radcliffe is trailing at this time, but on the lead, USC.
And I think Radcliffe aren't out of this, Alan. I think this is going to be extremely tight for that for those second and third spots in the grand final. At the moment, the one crew that might be slightly out of it is Davis, but Radcliffe are coming back strong in this final 500 and might even have shaded slightly Grand Valley, who certainly had the advantage on them up to that point.
University of Southern California is on the lead. Radcliffe trying to hang in there and get it back, ratcheted back up. They're up to a 36 stroke, we're reported, and they are fighting it out with Green Valley in lane number 3. Davis on the outside has kind of wiggle-waggled through their lane here, and that might cost them some time as it comes down. The real race, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be in the second, third, and fourth lanes, as apparently USC has an extremely comfortable lead on the beginning. 3 will go forward, and right now they are almost bow ball to bow ball against each other, with a slight edge to Grand Valley in the middle of the field. Along the shoreline is Radcliffe. On the outside is Davis. This is Grand Valley in the middle of our pack. Radcliffe picking the stroke back up. They had been in second position, and now they're trying to fight their way back. It is Grand Valley leading by about a seat over Radcliffe on the inside. On the outside, it's UC Davis. It is Radcliffe in the middle fighting it out for that second and third position. Top 3 move forward as we have the unofficial winner, USC. But it is going to be very, very tight between Grand Valley along the shore, and the 2 to watch will be Radcliffe and the University of California, Davis. Coming down to our finish line, it is Grand Valley, and on the inside, it is Radcliffe apparently picking up that third and final spot in the final, fighting off UC Davis at the very end. One of our more competitive finishes here. So unofficially, we will give it to University of Southern California, number 1. Grand Valley State University in number 2 position, and Radcliffe just barely getting up as they had been on top, fell back and came back again, and it looks like Radcliffe will be the third and final qualifier in this group, followed by the University of California, Davis. Next up on our program will be heat number, check that, event number 11, the men's collegiate lightweight final.